sports has shown us that just having a bunch of individual superstars simply ain't enough. PSG, man. I mean, like, because whenever I did, you do the initial reaction and so forth. It's always very important to sleep on things, and because I really needed just to sleep on just what the hell just happened. I really needed that. I needed just to gather my thoughts and so forth, because when you have the initial reaction, it's very passionate and so forth. But then I've had some time just sort of measure my thoughts and put into perspective just what PSG managed to achieve. Or not achieve, it depends how you say it. And I just think that, if I could just get El Khelafi, the PSG owner president, if I could just get him and just sit him down and try to explain to him how things work. Because I've been trying to say this stuff for many years, and people have been saying this stuff for many years, that the way you're going about trying to achieve this simply doesn't work. And real clubs like a Real Madrid and a Bayern Munich, they keep on reminding you, because see, what Bayern Munich did was very important. Because it's one thing to win, but it's the way that Bayern won. Because if it was like a close game, PSG scored, it came back, it was dramatic, then that's fine. But what Bayern Munich did over 2 legs was perfect, and it was needed. So for me, I personally want to just say danke to Bayern Munich for giving me the ammunition needed for this video. Because Bayern Munich showed PSG that if you're not a real club or a real team, you can't beat us. So Bayern Munich, like, if we're going to lose, we'll lose to a real team. We'll lose to a real club that actually has an ethos. We'll lose to a club that actually has some meaning and some depth to it. Bayern are like, what we're not going to do is lose to a holiday camp. What we're not going to do is lose to a bunch of clowns, which is what PSG are. This whole PSG thing, it was created to win the UCL. Like, dominating France was a foregone conclusion, because that was, we're going to dominate France, cool. We're going to try and catch up with Lyon and everything, cool. But this was all about, we want to now not only win the UCL, win several. Because remember, Marseille can always have that over PSG. Because Marseille can always say that. I think it was back in 93 with your boy Abedi Pele and of course Desailly, who have been the only team who won the Champions League for Marseille back in 93. So Marseille can always have that over PSG. That's okay, cool. The big dogs now were still the only French team to win Europe's biggest prize. So PSG knew that when this was constructed with Ibrahimovic being the first kind of superstar, it is to win this UCL. It is to win the Champions League. But and this is just how foolish PSG are. You've got to understand how football works, specifically in the modern day. You see, back in the day, you needed a manager, but man, you have 2, 3, 4 of those players, then you're all good. You're all good. So back in previous days, which is where PSG still think that we're like in the 90s or the 2000s, 3, 4 superstars, we're all good. We can definitely say what's up. But let's even go back to those days. Let's go back to the 2000s. The Galacticos. I remember when the Galacticos was formed, and I was like, a team with Roberto Carlos, with Zidane, with Figo, and you obviously have Raul there. Bro, there is going in 2, 3, or 4 UCLs. What happened? I think they only got the one in 02. Let's use another example. The 2006 World Cup. A team with Ronaldo, with Ronaldinho, with Kaká, with Cafu, with Robinho, Ginuino Pernambucano, Adriano. Oh, it's an easy dub. We all know what happened. Let's now go beyond the sport. Let's look at the Miami Heat. A team with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Then they only won 2. 1-2, lost 2. Shout out to the Mavericks and, of course, the Spurs, who should actually beat them twice. Let's be real, Spurs should have beaten them twice, but that's for a separate topic. So, not only for football, but sports has shown us that just having a bunch of individual superstars simply ain't enough. You have to have a team. But let's look at the modern day. Look at what we just saw at the World Cup with Japan and with Morocco. Football has changed. Football right now in the modern day is about systems. So, who is the manager and what is your tactical setup? That's what it's about. It's about team, it's about setup. Real Madrid did not win the UCL because of individuals. Yes, Benzema was major and did everything. Real Madrid won because they're a team who knows how to execute in the UCL. And Ancelotti is a manager who knows how to execute in the UCL. Then just about, oh my God, just have the biggest stars and so forth. No, it is a team that knows what to do and knows which buttons to press and knows how to get. They know how to get it done in the UCL. That is a team. It's not superstars. The moment I knew that PSG are clowns was Tuchel. So this is a man who took you to your very first UCL final. Very first UCL final. And I watched that final again. That was a close game. That was a very close game. Not only was it a close game, it's a game that PSG really could have won. When you look at the chance that Neymar had, look at the chance that Mbappe had, and I think the chance that Marquinhos had, and the chance that Di Maria had, they had 3-4 great chances. So they could have really beaten Bayern Munich. So that was a really close game. So what do you now then do? You now sack the manager because he didn't get along with the director of football, that being Leonardo, and he couldn't really get in line with what PSG was about. That's when I knew that, okay, these guys are obviously clowns. Because if you understand what modern football is about, the manager is far more important now than he's ever been. In today's football, the manager is king. Because it's a tactical game now. It's not about teams. Messi was even saying it before the World Cup. Messi has now said that that's thing about the individuals and what the individual can do to change a game. The age of a Ronaldinho, the age of a Messi, the age of a Neymar. I wouldn't say it is dying because it will always be there, but it's just not as prominent as it was once before. Right now, you now have to deal with teams because right now, teams now have a plan to exploit and to completely nullify those individuals, which is what Bayern did. Bayern were like, okay, Mbappe and Messi, we're going to take you out of the game. Messi, we're going to reduce your influence to try to ping passes to Mbappe. And for Mbappe, we're going to ensure that you're not going to have any space and we will now isolate you. So if you don't have that manager that can execute a system, you ain't doing nothing. So what do these clowns do? So you get rid of Tuchel and then you then bring in Pochettino. And then you then bring in Galtier. Excuse me? Excuse me? So that's the thing, because I just think that, look, just seeing PSG specifically in this game, it was just clear that, okay, these guys, they have no personality. Like they have absolutely no personality. That these guys are just they're void of any soul. They're void of any true core because they're devoid of any character. Because with Bayern Munich, bro, Choupo-Moting isn't the greatest striker in the world, but when he puts on that Bayern jersey, he buys into the Bayern ethos. So when you join a Bayern, when you join a Real Madrid, there is an ethos there. There is a history there. When you're joining PSG, what's the ethos? What is the character? So, and this is the biggest mistake that the PSG make. You can't just cross that white line and just expect that by the virtue of you just being there, by the virtue of you just existing because, hey, I'm Ramos, hey, I'm Marco Verratti, hey, I'm Neymar, hey, I'm Mbappe, hey, I'm Messi, will win? No. It doesn't work like that. PSG have two choices here, two possibilities. Either you change your culture change how the team is constructed. Hire an actual top-tier manager who has full carte blanche to actually build a team. You forgo that branding bullcrap and you actually build a cutthroat team where the manager is king and everything that the manager says is key and nobody's above the manager. And maybe you can try and do something, but I know that's doubtful. Or this is the other choice, which I believe is the choice that they should take, because I know for sure they won't change their culture. They'll always have the player be above the manager, which can never happen in modern football. So the other choice is break this up. Forget it. It's pointless. Let Messi go to MLS. Let Neymar go back to Brazil. And for Mbappe, I don't even know, because do Real Madrid still want Mbappe? Or for me, if I was just saying for advising for Mbappe, I'm like, Mbappe, push to move to an actual team. And this was the reason why everybody was pushing Mbappe to move to Real Madrid, because Mbappe at PSG does more harm than good. It does more harm than good. Talent alone ain't enough. Cristiano really became Cristiano because of Fergie refining him. Mourinho refining him. Messi really became Messi because of Pep refining him. Because of Luis Enrique refining him. So what Messi learned under Pep, what Cristiano learned under Fergie and Mourinho was paramount for them becoming the players that they had to be. Cristiano Ronaldo being around the environments of Man United, around the environments of Real Madrid, was a great contributor for him to be what he wanted to be. Messi being around the environments of Barcelona for so long is what made him the kind of player that he became to be. And as people have said, if Neymar had remained at Barcelona, we don't see the Neymar that we see now. These are the facts of the matter, man. So, in my opinion, man, I just think for PSG, break it up. The sooner you just break this up and end this crap, the better it will be for everybody, man.